So, hello and welcome. This is INTERGEO TV from Frankfurt. Welcome back here at our studio in Hall 12.1. And right now with me is the Open Geospatial Consortium. They are also very well-known guests. We are really delighted that they are here, and today is a premiere because right now here with me is the CTO, Dr. Ingo Simonis, and the CEO, Peter Rabley. Welcome to INTERGEO TV, both of you.
Glad to be here.
Yes, good to be here.
So, what are your impressions of INTERGEO so far?
It's fantastic. I've been coming for a number of years, and I'm always impressed by how it's grown and how international it's become.
Wow. What's your picture, first picture of INTERGEO this year?
Well, it's very impressive how many new technologies you see and how quickly you see these new trends being absorbed in all these different booths. So it's really excellent fair.
So for the quick big picture, what's OGC's role at a show like INTERGEO? So why does standardization matters right now?
The problems that all of us are facing, particularly in technology, are simply too big for any one company to solve on their own. And there are a certain level of products that make sense to work together as a community to solve. So how do I solve interoperability? For example, I might be a large German government organization has multiple different types of software systems, ingesting different types of data from different vendors. And as the client, the government, they need all of the data to be interoperable, regardless of the system.
Yeah.
And so it's important that we work with the communities so there's still innovation for a company to innovate their product and sell, but also interoperate with their competitors because many government clients and others have multiple systems, and the systems have to be able to talk to each other.
Absolutely, especially when we talk about hyper collaboration right now, as some industry or leaders does, because they talk about integrating AI and so much data means collaborating with any data. Isn't it like that, Ingo?
You do have very complex workflows, right? Take, for example, the city of Frankfurt and how they do adapt to climate change. You have tons of climate change data on the one side coming from a complete separate community. That's a climate research community. And on the other side, you have urban planners and decision makers within the city environment. And there's a huge gap in between them because we need to bring in lots of AI, lots of technology, lots of analytics in this process from climate simulation to urban decisions. And that's what requires organizations like the OGC to help building these complex workflows.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it, so everything is moving fast on AI and digital twins, as you just said. So, but how does OGC make sure the standards keep pace with this speed and not slow down?
Well, I won't give the fully technical answer, I'll give an operational answer. But data is the key to successful AI. If you don't understand your data, you don't understand where it came from, and you don't know how to trust it, really, if you ask a question of AI, it may give you an answer, but can you really rely on it? And if you're in a mission-critical environment, which many organizations are, you have to depend on the answer that you're getting. So you need to understand your data in a structured way. You need to know where it came from, how much you can trust it, and what it can really be used for. And that breaks down into things like ontologies and models and semantics. And this is the new era of standards. Not just the way it used to be defined in the old days, but how do we give a structure for data to be optimized for AI use?
Okay, I see. Ingo, can you give us a concrete example for that new standard, a spec or an API that engineers or product teams should watch for this year or really work with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you see the hype we have all serve with the large language models. And the philosophy or the idea is I can simply describe what I need and the software will build everything and the counterpart will then do the same thing and they will work together by magic. And now imagine you have such a situation and your car decides to overtake the car in front of you. You don't want to be 90% sure that this is a safe maneuver. You want to be 100% sure. And what we see is that all our standards are adopting to the new area where we do have AI being omnipresent, but we still need to define key elements so that we can be sure they are trustworthy and we can integrate everything smoothly. What we see is many standards for sure right now integrate real-time data from various sensing devices. That's in particular important in the new national security perspective. We have lots of new sensors out there. We have lots of new players providing these sensors, and we need to integrate them as quickly as possible. So standards such as connected systems, right? They provide you the mechanisms so that they can integrate everything very quickly, very efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So what do you think? What development of OGC, what standard will most improve the daily work of engineers, surveyors within their daily work within the next 1 or 2 years?
I'll say it's a difficult question to answer because we have so many different standards.
Mm-hmm. Concerning AI and the more data for urban digital twins,
yeah,
for example.
So I think our GeoBIM data modeling is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
We see more convergence from the AEC world coming into Geo and vice versa. So this GeoBIM integration and our relationship with Building Smart International, where we agree on joint standards, is a very important direction. Another one in 3D is we work very closely with the Kronos group that develops the GLTF format. This is the format of the gaming industry, 3D, where performance and rendering is key. So along with Niantic Spatial, we work with Kronos to develop the new version of 3D tiles, integration with GLTF. So we see a convergence from the gaming world also coming into the geospatial world. So these two are very hot. Another one is around critical infrastructure. We have a new standard called MUDI, and this is for all underground assets. Think electrical, water, gas, transportation. Now in today's political reality, this is critical infrastructure, it's not just civilian infrastructure. Because if one of those was to be damaged, you could have potentially millions of people without water for a week. So the way those assets are being considered and have to be modeled and have to talk to each other becomes really essential. So MUDI, which is the standard for all underground assets, is also getting a lot of interest and attraction. So it's not all just AI, but I'll leave the AI piece to Ingo.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I will answer your question not 1 and 2 years, but 3 and 4 years from now. So the OGC is mostly known as a standardization organization, but it has developed into a knowledge exchange organization, right? This is where the power is, and this is perfectly reflected in the way we will interact with our software in future. So right now you use your mouse and you click buttons and you run commands. You will just talk to the software. And the software will not be one big building block that you buy off the shelf. Instead you have individual little, we call them agents. And the software will make sure it pulls the right agents for your needs, put them into a workflow and executes the workflow for you. So we will see a complete different way of interacting with the software. And standards play a very important role, but we need to look even beyond the standards, right? We need to have standards to make sure the agent fits into this workflow, but we need to be sure we can trust the agent. We need to be sure that the whole workflow is not comparing apples and oranges, but really produces what we are looking for. And these are main items that we are looking at the OGC.
Wow, so we are really within a technological revolution right now, and everything happens here at INTERGEO. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
OGC here at INTERGEO TV. Thank you very much.
Thank you.